Hello everyone, and many thanks for joining this stream news update from Moscow, morning news update. And many thanks to all the members of our community who will either join later on or will watch video after stream ends. Today is 11th of June. Now it's 11 o'clock in the morning Moscow time, and I have prepared quite a number of news on some major developments, and hopefully you will find this update informative and useful. Before I start, I will just notice that I received one question from member of our Patreon community, and after news segment, I will react on that question. If there will be any more questions during the live stream itself from support platforms for this project, either PayPal or Boosty or in a super chat on Rumble, of course, I will react on those questions or the comments too. And if it happens that you will send question, but I would not manage to answer during the stream today, then I will answer to that question during the next stream. So I'm definitely not going to miss your question or the comment. That's been said, dear friends, let's go through some news now. And well, let's start with this report from TASS News Agency that second stage of exchange of POWs between Russian and Ukrainian sides did take place. Details were not provided by either side about number of POWs that were exchanged, but what is known for now is that this exchange is taking place based on agreements between the sides that was reached during the recent second round of direct talks in Istanbul, and overall at least 1,000 POWs should be released by both sides, should be exchanged by both sides. First of all, wounded and ill POWs will be released, exchanged, and also POWs under 25 year age. So clearly progress in humanitarian area when it comes to this crisis. Although, by the way, we have also this report from RIA Novosti that Ukraine has directly refused to take their bodies of Ukrainian soldiers that Russia was ready to transfer, also based on agreements in Istanbul. For a second week now, Russian side is trying to transfer these bodies of killed Ukrainian military personnel, soldiers and officers, but Kiev regime is refusing to accept this transfer. In previous updates, I explained my view why Kiev regime is acting this inhumanely towards this killed military personnel, towards family members of this killed military personnel. I guess many members of our community are on the same page with me on that Kiev just is trying, while refusing to accept these bodies, is trying to maintain its false narrative about losses in Kiev regime's forces, and also Kiev regime is just trying to avoid payments, compensations to be paid to family members of this killed military personnel. I remind you, dear friends, that very often this Western-backed terrorist regime of Zelensky is designating killed military personnel as either deserters or as missing in action, so that this way they are avoiding to pay compensations to family members of this killed military personnel. I give you a little more details from this information. Ukraine has directly refused to take their bodies of Ukrainian armed forces soldiers, said Foreign Ministry spokesperson Maria Zakharova. We have a quote from her. This was not just a mumble, not a request, for example, because the Ukrainian side lacks their scientific and the technical capability, because this is identification, preservation to postpone this, or let's say transfer in parts in batches, or let's say transfer those that from our point of view, we were able to establish the identification. Nothing of the sort. A direct refusal turning into mockery and derision on not of us, but of their own. She said on the air at the Sputnik radio, and she definitely has a point. Kiev regime is clearly insulting memory of this killed military personnel that were sacrificed by this regime and its NATO backers. And the Kiev regime is mocking basically relatives of this killed military personnel. Yesterday, I shared on my Telegram this information. For example, I mean, people in Kiev already are very much upset. Not everybody knows that Russia is, for second week now, is trying to transfer bodies of killed military personnel to Kiev regime, because controlled media, so-called media in Ukraine is not really reporting about it. But through other means, number of people are managing to know what is happening, and already are trying to go through a list of this killed military personnel that Russia is transferred to, ready to transfer to Kiev regime, and finding their relatives. So this was reported, for example, by Ukrainian journalist and the public figure in exile, Anatoly Shary. He stated yesterday that he knows, he has direct information that many people have found their relatives that were designated as missing in action in the list that was published in Russia of this killed Ukrainian military personnel. And also artist journalist, artist correspondent Kostya Pridibailo conducted a little investigation. He went through some videos that was published in Ukrainian propaganda outlets earlier. And for example, there was a video where person under the name of Oksana, woman under the name of Oksana, was in tears, was asking to a released POW, Ukrainian POW, if he have heard about her husband. She is showing, you can see on your screen, she had her entire banner with her all the information, and she was looking for her husband. And this POW, this particular released POW, did not knew that person, but well, as I said, artist journalist conducted a little investigation, and he found out that person that she was looking for is in the list of killed Ukrainian military personnel that Russia is ready to transfer to the regime. So if she has access to media outside of Ukraine, if she has access to Russian media, probably she will learn that, well, her husband being killed, he is not missing in action, not a deserter, but was killed in action. And maybe if she and many other people that are looking for their family members, if they will find their names in this list that was published in Russia, maybe if they will contact somehow Russian side, Moscow would not be against to take this humanitarian gesture and transfer bodies of these killed military personnel directly to their family members. Although in that case, you can understand, in that case, these families will never receive no compensation from Kiev regime. Although it is also not a fact that Kiev regime will even has any intention to pay compensations anyways. So this devastating situation really in Ukraine for families of the killed military personnel. And well, yet again, I don't even know what they can do other than directly contact Russian side if it's possible, and maybe Moscow will take some humanitarian gestures and help them to receive their loved ones that were killed in action. Otherwise, I mean, Does Moscow has any much option left? Maybe a couple of more days, Moscow will try to transfer this skilled military personnel to Kiev regime side, and if Kiev continues to refuse, as it does until now, then I guess cemeteries will be created somewhere, and this military killed Ukrainian military personnel will be buried in those cemeteries. That's it. Despicable steps from Kiev regime, but what else do you expect from those scum of humanity, really? That Zelensky and his criminal associates are, and their Western backers, basically. Also interesting news that was published in Russian media. I shared this information on my Telegram and Twitter X page that Ukrainian authorities have begun mandatory evacuation of 7 villages in the Kharkov region. Evacuation has been announced in the 7 settlements of the Shevchenkovka community of the Kupiansk district. The media reports this measure affected the villages of Baranovka, Berezovka, Novonikolayevka, Spodobovka, Staroverovka, Duvanka, and Fyodorovka. And in addition, it is also reported that the regime has begun evacuation in Sinelnikovo district of the Dnipropetrovsk region. And as I reported earlier, dear friends, Russian troops are already conducting operations inside the Dnipropetrovsk region. So evacuations has begun there too. Hello everyone, I hope you find informative and useful this short clip from main news update, and if so, please click that like button and leave some commentary just about anything. It might help to deal with the algorithm and reach wider audience. And if you like my work in general and want to support to save this media project, you can assist through several ways. You can donate to this project through PayPal platform or Boosty, also with the crypto currencies, or you can subscribe to my Patreon page and page on Boosty, where I have quite a lot of extra content on regular basis. All the links are on this video in description box and in the pinned comment. And of course, many thanks to everyone who already helped and continues to support. Thank you.